For years, Mike Tyson refused to talk about what Muhammad Ali told him in 1984. Reporters asked. Biographers pressed. Tyson stayed silent. Then in 2016, when Ali died, Tyson finally revealed it. Not the whole conversation, just one sentence. 7 words. That's all Ali said. And those 7 words turned an angry teenager into the youngest heavyweight champion in history. May 1984, Los Angeles, California. Mike Tyson was 18 years old and falling apart. His mentor, Cus D'Amato, was dying of pneumonia back in New York. The only father figure Tyson had ever known was slipping away. And without Cus, Tyson didn't know who he was or what he was supposed to become. Tyson had been sent to Los Angeles by his manager to train and stay focused, get away from the distractions in New York. But LA wasn't helping. Tyson was angry at the world, at God, at himself. He was training at a gym in downtown LA, destroying heavy bags, terrifying sparring partners, and contemplating whether boxing was even worth it anymore. One afternoon, Tyson's trainer, Teddy Atlas, pulled him aside after a brutal sparring session where Tyson had nearly hospitalized his partner. "You need to control yourself," Atlas said. "You're going to kill someone in there." "Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do," Tyson shot back. "That's not boxing. That's just violence." "What's the difference?" Atlas didn't have an answer, because at that moment, Tyson genuinely didn't see one. He'd grown up with violence, been beaten by his mother's boyfriends, been jumped on the streets of Brownsville. Violence was the only language he understood, and now it was the only thing he was good at. That same week, word got around the boxing community that Muhammad Ali was in Los Angeles. He was doing promotional work for a charity event. Despite his Parkinson's diagnosis, Ali still made public appearances, still engaged with fans, still showed up for the sport that had defined his life. Someone mentioned to Ali that Mike Tyson was training in the city, the young heavyweight everyone was talking about, the kid from Brooklyn with unbelievable power and even more unbelievable anger issues. "I want to meet him," Ali said. His handlers tried to talk him out of it. Ali's Parkinson's was getting worse. His speech was slowing. His movements were becoming more difficult. Meeting some angry teenager wasn't on the schedule, but Ali insisted. So they arranged it, told Tyson's camp that Muhammad Ali wanted to stop by the gym. Tyson's reaction was disbelief. "Muhammad Ali wants to meet me? Why?" "Because you're the future, kid. And he wants to see what the future looks like." Tyson didn't sleep the night before. He'd grown up idolizing Ali, watching tapes of his fights, studying his movement, his confidence, his ability to be both a destroyer and a dancer in the ring. But more than that, Tyson connected with Ali's anger. Ali had been angry too, at racism, at injustice, at a system that tried to break him, and he'd channeled that anger into becoming the greatest. Tyson wanted to know how. How do you take rage and turn it into greatness? How do you control the thing inside you that wants to destroy everything? The next afternoon, Muhammad Ali walked into the gym. He moved slowly. His hands trembled slightly. His face, once so animated and expressive, was becoming a mask as the Parkinson's progressed. But his eyes were still sharp, still intelligent, still seeing everything. The gym went silent. Everyone stopped training, stopped moving, just watched as the greatest walked through. Ali looked around, spotted Tyson by the heavy bag. The young fighter was frozen, staring, unable to process that his idol was actually there. Ali walked over, slowly, each step deliberate. He stopped in front of Tyson, looked him up and down. Tyson was shorter than Ali had expected, compact, built like a tank, all muscle and coiled violence. "You're Mike Tyson," Ali said. His voice was soft now. The Parkinson's had taken the sharpness from it, but the words were clear. "Yes, sir. They say you're the next one, the next great heavyweight. I don't know about that. I do. I can see it. You got something dangerous." Tyson didn't know what to say. Here was Muhammad Ali, telling him he had potential. It should have felt like validation. But instead, it felt like pressure, like responsibility. "Can we talk?" Ali asked. Of course. They walked to a quiet corner of the gym. Alini sat down on a bench, gestured for Tyson to sit next to him. For a few moments, Ali didn't say anything, just sat there, looking at this young fighter who reminded him of something. Maybe himself. Maybe what he could have become if he'd let the anger win, instead of channeling it. "You scared?" Ali finally asked. Tyson was caught off guard. Scared of what? Of what you're becoming. The question hit Tyson like a body shot. Because yes, he was terrified. Terrified of the violence inside him. Terrified that one day he'd cross a line and not come back. "Yeah," Tyson admitted quietly. "I'm scared." "Good. Fear means you still have a conscience. Means you're still human. I don't feel human when I'm in that ring. I feel like a monster." "You think I didn't feel that way?" Ali leaned back. "You think I didn't look at my opponents and want to destroy them? Want to hurt them? I did. Every fight. There was this thing inside me that wanted blood. Wanted to prove I was the most dangerous man alive. How did you control it?" "I didn't. Not at first. When I was young. When I was Cassius Clay. I let that anger drive me. Used it as fuel. But fuel burns. And if you're not careful, it burns you up too." Tyson listened. For maybe the first time in months, he was actually listening to someone. "After they stripped my title," Ali continued, "after they banned me from boxing for refusing the draft, I had 3 years to think. 3 years where I couldn't fight, couldn't do the one thing that made sense to me. And in that time, I learned something important." "What?" "That being dangerous isn't enough. Lions are dangerous. Wolves are dangerous. But they're still animals. What makes you different, what makes you human, is choice. You choose what to do with that danger. What if I choose wrong? Then you learn. Then you choose again." "But Mike, listen to me." Ali turned to face Tyson directly. His hands were shaking, but his gaze was steady. "The anger you feel, the violence inside you, that's not your enemy. That's your power. But power without purpose is just destruction. You need to figure out what you're fighting for, not just who you're fighting against." Tyson felt something break open inside his chest, like a dam cracking. He'd been carrying so much rage for so long. Rage at his childhood, at his absent father, at the poverty, at the world that had been so cruel to him. "I don't know what I'm fighting for," Tyson said, and his voice cracked. "Cus always knew. He had the plan. He had the vision. But he's dying, and without him, I don't know what any of this is for." "Then you need to figure it out before you step in that ring as a professional. Because if you don't, that anger will eat you alive. I've seen it happen. Seen fighters with all the talent in the world destroy themselves because they never learned the difference between being a fighter and being a warrior." "What's the difference?" Alice smiled slightly. "A fighter just wants to win. A warrior knows what he's fighting for." They sat in silence for a moment. The gym noises continued around them, bags being hit, ropes being jumped, the rhythmic sounds of training. "I'm not going to be around much longer," Ali said quietly. "This disease is taking me piece by piece. My hands shake, my voice gets quieter. Soon I won't be able to do this at all. Can't give advice to young fighters, can't show up to gyms, can't do a lot of things." Tyson looked at Ali, at his trembling hands, at the slight stiffness in his posture, at the legend slowly being consumed by illness. "But before I go," Ali continued, "I want to tell you something, and I want you to remember it, because you're going to need it." "Okay." Ali leaned closer, looked Tyson directly in the eyes, and spoke 7 words. Just 7. That's all it was. For years, those 7 words stayed between them. A private exchange, sacred ground that Tyson wouldn't let anyone touch. Reporters asked about the meeting. "What did Ali tell you?" "That's private," Tyson would say. Biographers pressed. "Just give us a hint." "What did he say?" "It's not for you. It was for me." Even in his autobiography, released in 2013, Tyson mentioned the meeting but wouldn't reveal the words. Just said that Ali had given him something valuable, something that helped him through the darkest times. Then in June 2016, Muhammad Ali died. The world mourned. Tributes poured in. Every fighter, every athlete, every person whose life Ali had touched shared their stories. Mike Tyson posted a video. He was crying, openly weeping as he spoke about what Ali had meant to him. And for the first time, 32 years after that meeting in the LA gym, Tyson revealed what Ali had said. He told me, Tyson said through tears, "Don't let them make you a victim." 7 words. Don't let them make you a victim. That was it. That was the sentence Ali whispered to 18-year-old Mike Tyson. The sentence that Tyson carried with him through everything that came after, through winning the heavyweight championship at 20 years old, becoming the youngest champion in history, through the violence and controversy that followed, through prison, through bankruptcy, through personal tragedy and public humiliation. Through all of it, those 7 words stayed with him. Don't let them make you a victim. In his 2016 video, Tyson explained what those words meant to him. I grew up a victim. Victim of poverty. Victim of abuse. Victim of circumstance. And that victim mentality, it was eating me alive. I was angry at everyone because I thought everyone had done something to me. I thought the world owed me something because of what I'd been through. But Ali, he saw that in me. He saw that I was carrying this victim identity. And he told me, don't let them make you a victim. Don't let your past define you. Don't let what happened to you become who you are. That changed everything for me, because I realized I had a choice. I could keep being angry at the world, keep blaming everyone for my pain, or I could take that pain and turn it into something else. Turn it into motivation, into power, into purpose. Ali did that. He refused to be a victim of racism, refused to be a victim of injustice, refused to be a victim even when they stripped his title and tried to destroy him. He turned all of that into strength, and he was telling me I could do the same thing. The video went viral. Millions watched Tyson, one of the most feared fighters in history, break down crying while talking about 7 words from Muhammad Ali. Other fighters responded, shared their own stories of Ali's wisdom, his ability to see into people and know exactly what they needed to hear. But for Tyson, those words were special, personal, because Ali had seen something in him that even Cus D'Amato hadn't fully addressed, that underneath all the anger and violence, Tyson was still operating from a place of victimhood, still letting his past control his present. Years after that 2016 video, in a 2020 podcast interview, Tyson elaborated more. People don't understand what it means to carry victim mentality into fighting. You think being angry makes you strong, but victim anger is weak. It's reactive. It's always looking backward at what was done to you instead of forward at what you're going to do. Ali taught me that real strength comes from taking responsibility, not for what happened to you, but for who you become because of it. He'd been through so much injustice, so much racism, so much hatred, but he never acted like a victim. He acted like a warrior, and there's a huge difference. Those 7 words, don't let them make you a victim. They saved me, because I was on a path to destruction. I was going to be another statistic, another talented kid from the ghetto who had everything and lost it all because he couldn't get past his anger. But Ali's words gave me a different framework, gave me permission to be more than my circumstances. And even when I did fall, even when I did make mistakes and go to prison and lose everything, I always had those words as a reminder that I could choose differently, that I wasn't trapped by my past. That 1984 meeting lasted less than 20 minutes. Ali had other places to be. Tyson had training to finish. But in those 20 minutes, Ali gave Tyson something that would last a lifetime. Not a technique, not a strategy, not boxing advice, just 7 words that reframed everything. Muhammad Ali died in June 2016. At his funeral, Mike Tyson was one of the pallbearers, helped carry the casket, stood there with tears streaming down his face as they laid the greatest to rest. Afterward, a reporter asked Tyson what Ali meant to him. He gave me my life back, Tyson said simply. When I was 18 and losing myself, he showed me how to find myself. He showed me that strength isn't about how hard you can hit. It's about how you choose to stand back up. And he taught me that being a victim is a choice. Being a warrior is a choice. And I could choose to be a warrior. That lesson, those 7 words, became part of Tyson's legacy too. Because everyone who followed Tyson's career saw both versions of him. The version that let victim mentality win, that made terrible decisions, that hurt people including himself, and the version that chose differently, that took responsibility, that transformed. And people who know the story know where that transformation started. In a gym in Los Angeles in 1984, with Muhammad Ali, and 7 words whispered to an angry teenager who needed permission to be more than his anger. Don't let them make you a victim. It wasn't a magic spell. Tyson still struggled, still fell, still made mistakes, but he always had those words to come back to. A North Star given to him by the greatest fighter who ever lived. Muhammad Ali's legacy is usually measured in championships, in fights, in moments of athletic brilliance. But his real legacy is in the lives he touched, the words he gave, the wisdom he shared when no cameras were watching. Mike Tyson carries that legacy, carries those 7 words, and in carrying them, he passes them forward to young fighters, to people struggling with their past, to anyone who needs to hear that they have a choice. That victim or warrior isn't decided by what happens to you. It's decided by what you do with what happens to you. Muhammad Ali knew that, lived it, and in one brief meeting with a troubled teenager, he passed it on. 7 words. That's all it took. 7 words that stayed secret for 30 years. 7 words that helped create a champion. 7 words that prove greatness isn't just about what you achieve. It's about what you give. Don't let them make you a victim. That's the untold story. Not the fights, not the titles, but the moment when the greatest fighter in history looked at a future champion and gave him the one thing he needed most. Permission to be more than his pain. Permission to choose. Permission to be a warrior instead of a victim. And in doing so, Muhammad Ali proved once again why he truly was the greatest.